I got fired from my job in the middle of working. Man, I just want to start off by saying I'm very grateful that this is not a recent story. But it is a story that's a part of my life. So I'm just here to share it and give some insight and hopefully to be able to motivate anybody out there, just one person who is currently going through this, because it happens everywhere all the time. And I know when it happens you feel like life is over, like you've got no other option, like you don't know what else to do, your back's against the wall. So I just want to share my story and hopefully try to shed some light on someone else's. So I got fired from my first job. I was working at Publix. I was working in the deli, and I had just graduated high school. So I was, I believe I was 19. Was I 18, 19? I believe I was 19. I worked there for 3 years. I got fired on my third year. So to basically let you guys know what happened, it was 100% my fault. All right, it was 100% my fault. I literally cannot blame anybody else but myself, because it was me who got fired because of what I did, right? So working in the deli, I took a break, right? And I didn't clock out, right? And because we were slow, so I'm just chilling. It was a chill job. We did our work, but when it was slow, we just kind of chilled. So I basically took a break, but I didn't clock out. And then later on, I actually took my break and I clocked out. And there was a gentleman working with me who, I guess he was never really too fond of me, but he was paying attention, and he told on me. He told that I basically took 2 breaks, and that obviously I would have had to only clock out for 1. So he basically told that, hey, this guy took 2 breaks, he only clocked out for 1, which means that he basically just stole, a certain amount of time from the company, which was true. And so they fired me because of that. I was off the next day. I came in the following day, and as I'm working the hot case, serving people's food, the store manager, she comes back there and she says that she needs to speak with me. So I said, okay, no problem. I'm not thinking anything of it, because, I'm so cool with everybody there, and I've been there for a while, so I'm not really thinking anything of it. But she says, like, hey, I need to speak with you. And then, so my deli manager, not the store manager, my deli manager, she says, hey, you might get fired. So she was prepping me, but she was like, you might get fired, but I'm pushing for you, meaning that she's trying to do what she can in order for me not to get fired, because she really liked me and she liked how I worked. So she was like, I'm pushing for you not to get fired. So boom. So it didn't happen that day. All right. So the following day, I believe it was like a Saturday, I came in, and I never ended up speaking with the store manager at all. But that next day, the store manager came to get a sub, and I didn't make it. They already had it pre-made for her, because she called it in from up front. And my deli manager was like, yeah, whatever the case was, it was unsuccessful. And she was like, yeah, you're probably going to be getting fired. And so sure enough, This time I actually did go up there and I talked to her because, whatever happened, it was unsuccessful. And, they probably did a little investigation to see how long I was gone and all that other stuff. But I went up there and, the store manager, she kind of just told me how it was. She told me she valued me and she liked me as a worker. And, I was such a big part of the team, which I was. I think I was like one of the oldest employees back there. But she was like, listen, you were basically stealing time and, that's unacceptable. And I just agreed because I knew it was wrong. And, she said because of that, she's going to have to terminate me, And honestly, she said it wasn't even up to her. It was the boss over her, who doesn't even work at the store. So, because I was on the cameras and, it was, everybody did their due diligence on basically, watching how long I was gone and, seeing that I didn't take a break and then I went and took a break and, so she was like, we're going to have to let you go. So I said, okay, I understand. Left out, got in my car. At the time, I had just got my Miata, which to this day, I wish I would have kept it. But I had just got my Miata, paid for it cash, $3,000. And actually $2,500. Let me correct that. And I drove off and I kind of felt relieved because I was thinking about leaving, but I guess I just didn't really know how to leave. It's you're just young, but I kind of felt relieved, but then as soon as I got home, I instantly felt unrelieved because it was like, oh crap, like now I have to find another job. Like now I need to, I still need to keep money coming in, especially because I had just graduated. So it's like, life just started and I don't have a job, so I was thinking about leaving. I just didn't know how to do it, and it just kind of bombed on me. Boom. And now you gotta leave, so now you've gotta come up with something else. So I'm not gonna lie, bro, that it was probably the worst time period of my life. I was down bad. I had such a supportive girlfriend who she just manned the fort, bro. And at the time, I had actually just moved in with her and her family, maybe 2 months before I got fired, which was crazy. But she held it down for me, bro. I had a little money, not much, was a horrible saver, just like everybody else who's just graduated high school and who's young and dumb and stupid and not thinking about retiring at all. But she manned the fort, bro. What money I didn't have, she supplied, and she made sure, we ate, and I paid her parents like $150 a month just for staying there, which was extremely affordable, and I'm so thankful for them and grateful that they only charged me that, because that it was so cheap to what I was making. I was making like $700 a week, $500 a week, so I thought that was pretty good, being that I just graduated and I got a room and so $150 a month. I was like, oh, that is cheap, thank you, yeah, let's do it. So yeah, bro, she manned the fort. She made sure we ate when I didn't have it, and she paid my portion of rent, which is crazy. But I was down bad, bro. I was down bad for like 4 months. I didn't get a single job. I didn't get, a single offer, and it honestly, I felt so bad because here I am. You're considered a grown man now. You're not in school anymore. I lost my job, but I have bills. I've got car insurance. Because I have a vehicle. I got a phone bill. So everything. And, you know, people would call and I would get interviews, and for whatever reason, you know, they just never panned out to work. So I kind of felt bad, bro. I was playing a lot of PlayStation, a lot of gaming to kind of keep my mind off of, you know, not having a job and not working. And I was having trouble, bro. I was having trouble for like 4 months to find a job. I was jobless for 4 months. For 4 months, my girlfriend, who is now my fiance, we're going to be getting married soon, she held me down, and, you know, she covered me. I'm so thankful, and I love her to freaking death, bro. So fast forward about 5 months later, and I ended up getting a supervisor job at Bell's, right? For any of you guys who don't know Bell's, it's basically a retail store. And I got a supervisor job there. I was able to get that job because I worked at Publix. And for you guys that don't know Publix strives for great customer service. They're similar to Chick-fil-A, but in the supermarket realm. And Chick-fil-A is in the food realm, you know, the fast food restaurant. So I was able to really pitch that, you know, to pitch customer service, to pitch time management, and you know, to kind of pitch working as a team, and, you know, knowing expectations and all of that. And they gave me the job, man. They gave it to me, and I was making $4 extra than I was making working at Publix. So I was so grateful. It was a great stepping stone. I left there, and I became an assistant store manager for Zoomies. After a year, I left there. I went to Zoomies as a assistant store manager, upped my pay, went to making $3 extra there plus commission, which was amazing. And then I left there, and I went to be a sales manager. And then from there, I went to do. Oh no! From there, that's what it was. From there, that's what it was. I'm thinking about now, because now I've moved, and so I had to get a new job, and so now I'm in fiber. I'm in fiber optic. So I work with, you know, cables and whatnot, fiber, underground, stuff like that. But that was before I moved, right? And so I say all that to say I got fired, but every job after that I had every job after that I've had and that I have, it was a tremendous upgrade. It was a tremendous upgrade. I went up in pay, and I went up in value. I went up in pay, and I went up in value. So for anybody out there who just got fired, I know what that feels like. Anybody out there who feels like everything's impossible now, who feels like, you know, how am I going to be able to pay this and that, and you know, how am I going to be able to afford this, and how am I going to be able to, you know, supply for my family and my kids and pay this rent, and, you know, like, I don't know what to do. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm not going to sit here and compare your situation to mine, because there's so many worse situations than mine, right? I feel like I'm blessed to have been so young when I got fired, right? When you're 30 years old and you get fired, it hits a little different versus when you're 19 years old and you get fired, right? Because you've got way more responsibility. You've got way more obligations. So I just want to remind y'all, man, keep your head up. Your life is not over. And I'm 100% sure that whatever situation you go into next, it's going to be way greater than the situation you got put out of. It's going to be way more beneficial to you, your life, your health, your family. It's going to be way more beneficial. The only thing that will get you down when you get into that new situation is how you left the last situation. That is the only thing. The fact that you got fired. The fact that you got fired is the only thing that will get you down. Other than that, your new situation is going to be way greater than your previous situation. Keep your head up. Life is not over. You have to come out on top. It's not like you have an option, right? Life can only progress. It can never degress. It can never go down. It has to continue to go up, right? That's just how it is. Life can never go backwards. It can only progress. It cannot regress. So understand that even though it looks like you can't get out of this hole, like I'm completely buried, there's no way I can get out of this, you will get out of this. You can get out of this. You are going to get out of this. So stick with it. Stick with it. And I'm 100% sure, like I said earlier, the next situation you get into, it's going to be way greater for you than the situation you got put out of. You are going to thank God you got let off of the previous job you were in because of what he puts you in after. You are going to thank God for that. And I will take that a step further, and I would go to say that for some of us, not all of us, for some of us, it is a complete blessing from God to be put out of a job in order for you to really reach the pinnacle of what you should be doing, or, the job or the career that you should have. Because like I was saying in the previous start of the video, I was already thinking about leaving. I just didn't know how to, and that is the case for a lot of people. And the thing is, a lot of people don't get put out, and a lot of people don't finally come to that decision and know how to do it. And so what happens is you've spent your whole lifetime at Walmart when you had other goals and you had other opportunities, but you didn't know how to just tell Walmart goodbye. You didn't know how to let them go. So you've been there 50 years now. It's time for you to retire, and you never got a chance to do what you wanted to do. So it is not always a negative. It can for sure be a positive. For some of us, it is a blessing in disguise, but it doesn't feel like that at first. It doesn't feel good to get fired. It doesn't feel good for somebody to come to you and say, hey, we're gonna have to let you go. You're not working hard enough. We don't like how you're doing this. You're stealing time, right? You're taking too long of a break, right? You're not producing enough. Like, none of that feels good in the moment. But after, when you've got that breakthrough, when God has given you what he's been holding for you, and he gives you the opportunity to do what you've been saying you want to do, and now you can do it because you're free, that is the time that you are grateful for being fired, for being let off. All right, so keep your head up, man. I don't know who this video was for. It was just in my spirit to make this video as I'm on my drive home in the rain. But keep your head up, guys. Keep your head up. Pain is only temporary. Pain is only temporary. Hurt is only temporary. Being down is only temporary. Not having it is only temporary. Struggling is only temporary. It's not forever. It's just for a season. It's just for a moment. It's just for a night. But in the morning, in the morning, man, it could be so much better. In the morning, you will have joy. In the morning, you will truly see what it is you can finally do, you can finally achieve. And in the morning, you can really be grateful for being fired. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully I helped somebody out in this video, man. Y'all have a good night.